Hello, Rory. I've been waiting for the tablet to finally catch up. It just takes forever. So finish off this field by going forward would be nice. How are you today? We need to get that little bit up there, and then we're all done on here. And then we can sell his field back and um, and get ready to do some grass. Make some hay bales. I'm good, thanks. I feel a lot better than I did earlier. That's for sure. Toothache, the fun stuff. But definitely feel a lot better than I did earlier. And it's in about 7 o'clock. So in about 2 hours, I'll be streaming again because we'll be doing Wreckfest. So it was like, well, I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do on Maypole earlier, so let's go and do that. And so, I want to get to the stage where we've got everything that we need for cows, and we can start looking at maybe even bringing in some cows. That'd be a good way to start, and hopefully we can get to that stage, because we've already got straw bales. They're already sitting at the farm, and we only need some silage bales for now, and we can do TMR later on. Or we could do TMR. Well, yeah, we could just buy a grass field, and we could do silage bales on that field, and then we could do some TMR. But initially, I definitely want to get some hay bales. Which means leasing in the mowers and then probably buying in a tedder and rake. Damn. Pushed the wrong button. I'm sweating here. I hate the headphones when they make you sweat. Going the wrong way though. That's not how you reverse either. Let's try doing that again, shall we? So I don't know if they've come out on console, Rory, but some maps got released on ModHub yesterday, I think it was. Kai, will you stop there? I don't know if they came out on console, if there's just desktop for now. I'm suspecting that if they release them on ModHub and they're ready, they're console ready, then they're tested for both platforms, and then once they've passed that test, they go live on both platforms at the same time. Because I can't see them releasing it for, say, desktop and then going, oh, we've still got to test it for console, because that just wouldn't make sense. Back at it, yeah, I know, just can't get away from it. And I'll be back at it again at 7 o'clock. Looks a bit bare down here now, because this is where the BGA used to be. And so people gave out about it. Well, because a BGA has to look like a BGA. It can't just be a sell point with the digestate. You know, every map has to be built the same. I have. They're finally out. I saw it on Discord and I was like, oh. I know that there was waiting on some scripts to come out, so that means the editor must be due out soon as well. I didn't check to see if that was out, but if it is, then that'll be a bonus, because then it can be gain animated gates. I know you can already do animated gates, but I wanted to wait until the editor came out, so if there was any changes, then I wouldn't have to make them after I've already done all the work to get them to work. I'd rather just go straight from wherever Giants of Purrs right now. Let's see. I think we have some. We have wheat. We have some barley. Sweet corn, sunflower seeds, and corn. Okay. So we do have stuff we can sell if we need to. Hey Ron, welcome. That'll do, just there. No, the other way would be nice. And let's go and get the mowers. In fact, is the grass at the sheep zone already at the harvest stage? Perfect. I'm good, thanks. Yourself? I just remembered we leased the baler and then we sent the baler back. We leased the baler, we did straw bales, but then we sent the baler back. It wasn't such a good idea. Should have kept the baler on lease. Oh well. I swear these headphones are making me sweat today. Oh. It's good to hear. Right. We'll take the should we buy the, just contemplating on whether we should buy the tedder and rake or just lease everything in that we need. So you're what, 8.7, and the mowing setup is 8.4. But you're 16,000 to buy. Or 816 to lease in. We lease you in. Yeah, definitely. We know who that would be as well. And lease this in. And then the mowers. Yeah, I think, is it that way? It's that way, isn't it? If I hook up to this one here, and then oh, front might be a bit heavy. Its front's happy, needs to be rear happy, and its header isn't really going to hold much weight in it, so we'll have to be aware of that, or wary of that. Luckily we're not going to mow its head at the same time. You have snacks. See, there you go, snacks. I have sweets, kid sweets. Don't think I'll be eating any though, but I have some. The kids will probably be going, hang on, you got our sweets there? Well, you got our sweets there? If they heard that. You shouldn't have our sweets by you. You know, well. Yeah, it's still definitely front heavy. Or front happy at the moment. So once all the testing's over, it'll be a case of fine-tuning the last details, which will be changing some of these trees to different types of trees, like birch trees and the big brown bushy things that are supposedly called vision trees. They've replaced the poplars from 2017, and now they're just big brown trees that are like these oaks. They're bushy, but the foliage actually almost touches the ground all around them. And it'll be good to see the editor release, so then we can actually get gates here by the animals, because even though the animals are extremely well behaved and they never try to escape on this farm, you might one day decide, yeah, I'm done with that farm, you know. And we will drop you here because we ain't going to be mowing all the way to there. Need a button that changes, allows me to change the select between the different equipment, so I have to keep reaching over for the keyboard to do that. I could definitely do that. I know there's a map, I'm not going to say its name, but I know there's another map that I'd looked at, but I hadn't spent much time looking at it. I just opened it up and it was like, oh, okay, looks interesting, and then I was back on playing Riverview at that point, and then I decided, well, in fact, you know what I'm going to do, because even when Seasons comes out, if the farm doesn't look like the farms as they was in 17, then I don't think Seasons is going to be enough to keep me interested in playing, shall we say. So yeah, I ended up then working on version 3 of the maps, and well, we all know where the rest of it goes. But I could definitely look at and see what, because to my knowledge, all it is, as it stands, is you change animated what is it, animated objects to animated map objects, and then you tell the script callback to read that file and where to find that file, and you make a group of gates in, and you give it its coordinates and it spawns it all in, and from the XML is where it's told to read the all the stuff that it needs to read, and which I'm presuming that's where you link in the XML to read the animated gates script file as well. No, you don't, because that's done through the i3D, never mind. And then you have to put into your mod disk under L10 conditions, so it shows up in the in your F1 menu as to open gate, close gate. But and then you need the nodes to link all of the sections of the gate, so you can have the sound file work. So the bar moving would be one part, the second would be the catch lifting up, and then it would be the next node would be the gates opening and then the gates closing, and then finally the catch, or the either sliding across or coming down, whichever it is, to lock the gate. It does it? That's interesting. I didn't notice that particular part, because I haven't actually opened it up in the editor, so interesting. But that's how people, they learn from these particular things, and they go, copying is definitely a thing that happens, and if it helps some, if it's going to be the way maps are done today, then why not? It definitely takes advantage of it and gives you the sense that you're in a bigger area than what you are. Yeah, it definitely is a great idea. That's why Maypole was done that way, because it gives you that sense that the area that you're working in is nowhere near the full scale of the area that is around you. Yeah, is wrong button. It would help if you push the correct button. It's map makers, the ones that take pride in their maps, always it shows in their work at the end of it, and those who just want to put a map out there just to maybe play themselves, they aren't so inclined to do the same. And so it's, for me, I like both of my maps, but I would in single player I'd much prefer to play on this map. And it's not taking anything away from Riverview. Riverview, I love, but this is the new toy of mine. Riverview, aka Newbie Farm, has been around since 11. So, and this was only just come out at the end of 17, and is now in testing for again for 19, but with no release schedule for this particular version. Just an estimate, which means that I can twiddle and fine tune and everything to my heart's content if I want, and that's how I'd much rather have it than having a dedicated release stage and saying, yeah, it'll be ready within X amount of days or weeks or months, you know, because then you feel that you have to abide to that obligation, and some things can easily be missed or not look as well as they could have done. Yeah, yep, I get that. That was how when FS19 came out, and I mean I had a review copy, you know. That's how I only wanted it for the editor, nothing else. But basically, I tested to see how it would react with the wheel, and I put the plough down in the field. I drove just a couple of meters forward, and it was like, yep, time to start porting the map over. And that was it for me, literally. And the first map I started porting over was this one, which is, a lot of people might say is weird, because Newbie Farm was the first map. So theoretically I should have been porting that one over, but the reason I wanted to port this one over was because the way it looks, the way it is, the way it feels is always going to be like that. Whereas Riverview is from the head, so it's I can meddle with that and adjust things to my liking, because it's not based on any particular landscape. I would be doing them one by one. I do all the trees one by one, because it just, apparently there is a script in 17. There was a script that you could use. I'd never use any script to place trees. It's always go in and do every single tree individually. So every tree that you see on Maypole and every tree you see on Riverview is all placed individually. And yeah, I got sick of seeing trees in the end for Riverview when I was doing all the forestry areas. I thought I put that down. Apparently I didn't. Maniac. Well, you know, it's one of those situations where you could say, was you married before you started putting trees down? Because I can guarantee you'd be divorced by the end of it. No. What you're doing today, putting some trees down. What you're doing tomorrow, the same thing, and the same thing after that, and after that, and for the next couple of weeks I'll be putting trees on this map from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. Or, well, bed. Until the moment I collapse at the computer. And the wheel, no, don't fold that up. We don't fold it up. We just want to lift it up. And now we can finish off that bit and a little bit that we missed up there. yeah, Riverview was all one type of tree apart from the forestry trees being in the distance. And then since Riverview got its tree changes, it definitely looks a lot more natural, makes it feel a lot more in fun to be around. And to drive it, and you look in the distance and you see the different types of trees, and it just feels not like a map but like it's an actual place. And Reefy, when he was doing his review, he liked the fact that it was modern houses, old houses all mixed in, so it showed age. Some houses had modernised up, some of them hadn't. You know, and I think mixture of trees can give you that impression as well. You mean on this one? Yeah, when this one's done, it'll just take a while, but it'll get there. And it won't take a while because of putting the trees in that I could actually fly through and do easily. It's the placing them where I feel they would best be seen and felt, and maybe even annoying little places. You know, that's us map makers like to place the trees where somebody goes, why do map makers always have to do that? A tree that's placed well is always a tree that annoys someone. A tree that was, and a hedge the same, a wall, a fence, a lamppost, anything that's collidable. You're working on a time lapse of you cutting down all those trees. So that would definitely be something I would be watching, Nodster. You've got to put that up. You know, I'm going to hold you to that now. When you turn around and you release that, you'd have to give me the link. I know Klein and Farmer Klein and all those guys, they cut down a lot of trees, and they was getting to the stage where they was sick of seeing trees. So if you can cut every tree down on the map and get it all sold so it's completely clear cut, wow. Hey Ray. Moondog and I jumped on the Racing server was not yesterday, day before, Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Maybe Tuesday, I can't remember. Anyway, a couple of days back I think, Wednesday, and nothing wrong with the server, don't worry, but that was the last time I've been on the server, but definitely I'll be on there tomorrow at some point. Tonight I'll be doing Wreckfest in an hour and a half. But how are you today, Ray? Let's go and rake some hay. So with these bales, we would, when they become bales, of course, we need to release in the baler first. But once they're baled and they're back at the farm, then we need silage bales, and then we can move on to buying in a Silo King mixing wagon and water trailer, and then it's I guess I could always mow the grass in the cow pasture if I need additional bales, because I haven't sent anything back. And I will need more hay bales than I'll need silage bales, because it's a 3-to-1 ratio. No, wrong button. Put that down. No, your blood pressure can come down. It was working perfectly. No, it was working perfectly, and I have to say it was nice to be back in the DTM 2016 cars. Really like them cars. And what was we was on Sepang, I think it was. Yeah, Malaysian truck. I like that truck. Very fast. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought we was going to hit the tree then. I think because of experience, I will do 2 headlands on this. We'll just, because down at the bottom end is where you need the extra working width or turning around space, position, space works a lot better. And then we'll go and get the baler and bale all this up and make hay while the sun's shining, because apparently it's not going to rain. So what are you up to tonight, Ray? You got any plans? Massey said he might be joining us for Wreckfest tonight. And you can join us if you want, Ray. It's up to you. I mean, we won't be going until about 7. But if you wish, and it'll be, that is not how you back up. It will be, it'll be dedicated servers, but it won't be private servers. It's open lobby. So anybody can hop in and play. I just can't promise you that nobody will not, that you won't get hit. You know, there's always somebody that will hit you. But then again, that's the name of the game, isn't it? Sometimes it's just a case of surviving. Resident Evil 2. How are you finding that Resident Evil 2? The last Resident Evil game I played was on PlayStation 2, I think it was, and it was aboard a ferry or some commercial ship anyway, and I'm sure it was a ferry, and you wake up and you have no idea what's happened. It was a weird game how it started off, and you need to find your way off the ship, but you also need to find weapons. Can't remember the name of it. Alright, let's go and get the baler. But yeah, definitely. So I'm thinking I'll go with the stream until about 6:30. That gives me half an hour then to get ready for breakfast. So another hour-ish, give or take. Then it gives me half an hour to get ready for breakfast because I'll be streaming there as well. So just a heads up there. It's a decent game. See, I was tempted to buy the WWE 2019 game because I don't like the wrestling side myself, i.e. being the wrestler. I would rather play, be the managery kind of person, sit and watch the matches unfold themselves. I've got 2018, but I don't know if 2019's worth in buying for that particular reason, or if I should just stick with the 2018. I don't know. I watch your streams and I'm like, maybe I should get 2019, and then I look at the price and I go, but is it really going to be worth it? Right, baler needs a lease in a baler. There isn't a baler. There is. You lease. Yes, awesome. There's more equipment down here than there is on the farm. That's scary. Right, off we go. It's 6 o'clock on the evening. In game there is, and so we don't have too long. Well, we do, because it's a 1:1, because I ain't fast forwarding time or anything. So, got plenty of time. 2K19 is really great game, but I'm biased. Yeah. From Universe point of view, where if you just go and sit there and watch the matches unfold themselves, is it any different to 2018, or is it basically the same format? That thing, it just plays along the same way. Is I guess is where I'm looking, because back in WWE, Nelson had his eye kind of, I can't remember the name of the game. WWE SmackDown, no, WWE Raw versus SmackDown 2016. No, definitely wasn't 16, was it? 2000 and whatever it was, the one that had GM mode. That one. I know two versions actually had GM mode. The second version of the one that had GM mode, the second game, that I only ever played GM mode in. It was the second one that had NXT, and was it NXT? It was NXT, wasn't it? Unfold. It had Monday Night Raw. Was it Friday Night SmackDown and NXT was a Sunday show or something like that. And you battled against the for the highest views. And your superstars, as they was called, not wrestlers, their star rating would be what affected the outcome of a match rather than their performance. And their performance would affect it if they kept doing the same move over and over, then repeatedly, then it could reduce the interest in the map. But Because in 2018 I did what was it called, the Monkey Show, where it was all the wrestlers that didn't have a show to be in. They was all part of the Monkey Show, and they would all fight off against, or square off against each other. I'd say that's the first bale I've seen, but I haven't really been on the field that long, have I? Um, 2019 is on sale right now for £19, $19. Jeez. So, yeah, that was the one. I remember watching British wrestling, Big Daddy and Stokes. Oh, I've had loads of fun on wrestling games in the past, and then I stopped playing them. I only played them on console at that point, and then when I got a desktop, it was, I was too busy playing other games, like strategy games, mostly. Trying to think of its name. And for some reason I can't. No good with names. Very forgetful when it comes to names. But Company of Heroes 1. And G2A. Huh, okay. High armor. But we used to do in, I'm going to say that it was 2008 because I can't remember the actual year, but I know it was before the teens anyway. On the console I'd create, myself and a family member would create a wrestler each, and we'd create a tag team belt, and we would fight for that belt, and then once we'd got it, it'd be see how long we can defend it, and we'd have triple threats and everything. Steel cage, Hell in a Cell, Hell in a Shell. That'd been a good one. Hell in a Cell. Hardcore. We'd have all sorts of matches. Hardcore. You don't see hardcore matches now, do you? They went PG and decided that, smacking each other over the head with a steel can wasn't good for business. And I'm pretty sure it's since the Benoit incident, and personally I'm not going to get onto the conversation about Benoit, but I don't think he committed suicide and killed his family and committed suicide. I think that was a cover-up. I think something else happened in the house. Too many indications point to outside influence there. But anyway, moving back off that subject, because that one's a delicate one for some people. No, that button, that's the one. And then drop the bale, or bales. How many have we got? 2. Excellent. Too many deaths. There could have been. I know there was. I know the. Oops, we underestimated the width of that. I know there's the WWE had been sued a few times. So yeah, and I know that they were sued by a female wrestler for their behaviour, or Vince's behaviour towards her, and the storylines that she'd have to do, etc. So they changed the way that females was used within the show, which is good because, you know, although it was still, if you sign on the dotted line that this is how you want to be portrayed, then you have to expect it to be the case. But whatever, we need the bale now, the bale auto stacker. But the but I know the WWE had been sued a few times, and head trauma was definitely, concussions and things like that was something they wanted to avoid, and long-term head injuries or long-term effects from bangs to head. So things like the flying headbutt, I think, were banned. I think wasn't Seth Rollins' curb stop or stomp, whatever it's called, where he jumps on, stands on the head and pushes it to the mat, wasn't that banned for a period? I know Orton's punt kick was banned. He can hype it up, but he can't actually do it. So he can actually take the run towards to do it, and then the person will either move out of the way, be pulled out of the way or something, and he'll miss. Did we? No, we want to fold that up. There. Right, finally. Well, I think what we should... No, actually, finally. We want you. And we will lease you because we ain't paying 70,000 for that thing. The amount of money that we've spent on leasing all this stuff in. Pile driver, yeah, you don't see that anymore. I'm surprised the tombstone is still... This is why I hate this thing. It's just so big. It just doesn't go well with Maypole, and where we've got to go down to, the way that we have to get into that area is going to be very interesting. But yeah, I'm surprised the tombstone hasn't been banned, and I know Kane and the Undertaker, to my knowledge, no one has ever been hurt off it, but yeah, I'm surprised that one wasn't banned. Wasn't the pile driver ban around about the time that Stone Cold's accident, or incident rather? I think, maybe. No, actually it was still going on, wasn't it? Because Mankind used it as well. Quite a lot.
I'm just going to say, that wasn't so bad. It was rice.
What?
That wasn't so bad, it was rice pudding.
Dark. Kids. Wasn't supper asked for, Dad? It was rice pudding. So, in order to get to the field on the right, or the path on the right, we've got to take a left. And then, now that we've took the left, we need to back out of here. And back into here. Can you go into that camera view? Jeez, so if I've got that... okay. Just wasn't working before. Just so I could turn here, because I wouldn't get round that corner otherwise, if I came in from the right. The problem is getting out of here will be, well, it won't, because I can do the same thing, but it would be just as difficult, because the turning circle on this thing is just really bad. Really bad. Did I swing out enough to get this in? Well, apparently. Right. I hope there's 16 bales or less here, because I don't fancy coming back down with this thing. And there's no more that side. Good. How many have we got? 7, so we're like almost halfway there. Well, we are now. How many up there? 1. So there's what, 6, 7. That should be perfect. 15 bales. I like the sound of that. Don't like the look of that one though. That one I'll have to come in from the other direction. Right. There we go. We're definitely going to need more hay bales. Really? What did you get hooked up on? Oh, the gutter. Or the gutter. Trailer, will you straighten up somewhat? There we go. Now to get this thing out of here. Well, how you do that is you pull into this field here without hitting that hedge. You know, it jumps out at me really, but you don't hit the hedge. You turn into here, run some crops over because it's not your field, so you don't really care, and then back up. There we go. As easy as that. That's actually one of the easy fields to go into. Some of the other fields where you don't have them options, they're the tricky ones. But then if you're using a modded trailer, you won't have this problem, because the trailer would be allow you probably have a much greater turning circle, and he'd probably be a bit smaller. I think the kids are trying to open the tin, so I'll have to get this into the farm and then go and make sure that he's trying to open the tin of rice pudding. Why can't he wait? Why does he have to do it now? He's just had his dinner. So I'll be right back. Nice little Lintec 90. Lintec 90 is... How many bales can you get on that, do you think? Square bales? I'd be wanting something that can fit at least 16. Minimum of 16. But not... because if it was just a normal bale, you'd lose pretty much from this yellow box here to here. So, you know, you'd lose a good portion of the trailer, which makes it a lot smaller. And if I have to manually load them, then I have to manually load them. That's fine until the auto stacking. Oops, that ain't gonna be good. Right, you can go to there. No, wrong way. Now we need you. Now the fun begins. No, other way. Right. I had to try and figure out where that post was.
Where can you do props in garage parts?
Hey Jack, welcome. What are we hooked up on? Oh, we're not hooked up on anything. Just actually it's the post sticking out. Okay, that's cool. Can live with that. Wow. What the hell? Why did you suddenly bounce up? I didn't even adjust there. Actually, you know what? I just thought... No, other way. That way. Why the hell do the bales slide onto the forks when the fork was not even tilted back? Farm sim physics, don't you just love them? And if you think about it, I'm going to need at least 3 more trailer loads of hay bales and at least 2 trailer loads of silage bales. So I'm going to need a lot more bales. That other way. Push them in a bit. Now we can pull away. Right. And this can go in here for now. Hang on. Cows. Shall we see? if we mow this, we might get 3 or 4 more bales worth off there, which might make enough of a difference. That's the point. We should be able to sell that field now as well. Let's turn that off. Fields. Sell. Let's go and get the mowers and we'll see to this cow pasture and cut the grass in here. Give us a bit more grass. Or in fact no, actually what we'll do is we'll buy a grass field and we'll just do a grass field. Be done with it. And hopefully get another trailer load, because ideally I want three trailer loads of hay bales. So I didn't bring the mowers. Didn't I bring the mowers back here? Oh, okay. I guess not. Well, in that case, I will take the tedder with me, as I should. As I did the first time, even. And then, because that'll be one less journey. Hang on. Before I go all the way down there and realise they ain't down there. They are. Okay. Good to know. So they're parked up by the by that shed, aren't they, in the sheep zone? So let's go and get them. In fact, before we do that, let's just jump to here, so I know how much money I've got to play with and what I need to be able to feed the cows. I want 100,000's worth in cows, or just over. That'll do. Confirm. And then that means that in we've got 38 cows. Okay, well that looks good. That's good. Yeah, forward would be nice. And now we'll go and get the mowers and then we'll go back up to the farm. And for those who haven't been on Maypole before, as you drive up this lane into the farm, or up that lane into the farm, you'll see the cows pasture as you get towards the farm itself. It was done like that just well, it reminded me of that part was actually constructed off a farm that I visited when I was at college and I was doing agriculture. We went to a farm. They needed some an area gravelling, so we took two vans, sorry. One loaded with people and the other one loaded with equipment, and the one loaded with equipment had a trailer behind it as well, which also had equipment in it. And we got to the farm, and as we went up the lane, just before you went into the gates into the farm, you could see to your left the cow pasture, or a cow pasture rather. And so it was that particular part, entrance going to the farm is how, oops, just, oh, you're going to be awkward, don't you? Because I've come at it from the wrong direction. I needed it from this way. I will hook up. There we go. Oh yeah, front's heavy. Pardon me. So I'll buy a field behind the farm, mow it, ted it, bale it. If there's enough bales, then we will sell the field and buy another field then for silage bales. If I feel there's still not enough bales, then we'll sell that field and buy another field for hay, and we'll do the same to that one, and we'll keep going till I'm happy that there's enough bales for what we need. No, that isn't the way into the farm. There you go, like so. That was the kind of view that we got coming into the farm, except it wasn't with barbed wire fencing, it was actual hedges with occasional barbed wire. No, not barbed wire, wooden fence actually. Whoa, seriously? Never happened before. Not when it was on the back, it didn't happen anyway. So that's something to be careful of coming up here. Is you'd want to, not that one, you'd want to lower, oh no, not fold, unfold. But you'd want to lower the front hydraulics, so, or front 3 points, so you could get into here. Right, buy a grass field. You are 61,000 and you are 107. Well, we're going to need 2 fields either way, so we may as well mow both of them, and then we will call it a stream, and the next time It'll either be picking up bales, or it'll either be where we've left off, or it'll be picking up those bales, or we'll be making TMR. We'll be doing something anyway. Depends on if I can leave the save game alone long enough. Can we? That's better. You love it, do you, Stardog? I do. I always liked that entrance to that farm, because we're all used to seeing from a person, just somebody travelling, the look of the cows in fields and whatnot, or animals in fields, but going up to an actual farm and seeing the cows right next to the farm, that was different. And it wasn't a very big farm. I mean, the layout was definitely small in comparison, but it was tight. It was definitely very tight getting into that farm and getting around the farm. The layout here on Maypole isn't the same as that farm, because we didn't get to have a look all the way around the farm. We just went up to the main house basically, and we was just putting gravel down on the main driveway. So what we had to do was dig up the driveway, and then rake it all flat, and then we went along with, I don't know what the actual machine's called, but it flattens the ground. It's like a steel plate that thumps down on the ground as you move along, and it flattens the ground, compresses the surface, and we was doing that, and then it was pouring gravel over the top, and then it was using that machine again to push the gravel into the ground, and then more gravel over the top, until the level of gravel that was on the driveway was about 2 inches deep, 3 inches deep, something like that. And then it took us 2 days to do it all. It was a huge driveway though, but that was to be expected on a farm. And we never went back to that place again after that. Even though there was a bit more work that we could have done there, it was another class who went there, and we didn't get to go back. And it wasn't that we hadn't done our job, we'd done our job, and to our knowledge everybody was happy with it. And then after that I actually went and worked on a farm, or not an actual farm, but a nature reserve centre that took in farm animals and birds of prey, and then ended up taking in virtually anything, but the only thing it didn't take in was actual horses. There was a horse farm over the back though, that they would take in sick and injured horses if they needed to. But there was, in fact, the place today, it's still a nature reserve centre. It still takes in sick animals, but it's not the same as it used to be when I was working there. Now it's more for the tourists, or not the tourists, but for the holiday makers who just want to take their kids out for somewhere just to go. Whereas back in the day it wasn't. It was all about the animals. I guess the animals don't pay for themselves is the motto that they've got going on there. But back when I was working, you could buy your bag of food and just go around feeding the animals yourself as somebody who just wanted to see the animals. And we didn't get many people coming in, walking around the park and looking at the animals. You know, it was a lot of people just didn't even know it was that you could do that. They just thought it was somewhere for sick animals to be taken and cared for, nurtured back to health, and then rehoused when as and when they could be. A lot of fun though, definitely a lot of fun. They used to do a lot for kids. They're not as in charity works, but they would during the school holidays, kids in the neighbourhood could go and work there if they wanted for a couple of weeks. Wrong button. I've just realised what's been happening. I've been going around all this time and didn't realise that wasn't down. That's not funny, actually. That's embarrassing. But whatever. It is what it is. It's happened. It's on stream. There's video evidence of it now. Then again, it's not as embarrassing as the time that I was in a self-propelled mower, and I'm driving along talking away, and then I look back and I go, hang on, why is there no windrow on the ground? And I look at the header and I'm like, yeah, I hadn't turned it on. So that's the thing. I mean, the windrow itself should have been a giveaway, shouldn't it? But no. On this one, I mean, the fact that it's only putting one out instead of a thick band should have been a dead giveaway for me. But no, I'm looking ahead. I'm not looking behind me. Look at the windrow. You see nothing. You see nothing. You heard nothing. It never happened. Damn, that was a lot of birds. Please give us the right to some kind of pistol or rifle, even if it's only a pellet gun, you know. At least give us something else that we can be doing. I know your PG rating will go out the window, but then PG ratings is overthought these days. In fact, the PG rating needs to go up itself, because the PG rating is too PG for kids today. I mean, hell, if you can teach your child, if the schools can teach your children between the age of what was a friend's daughter going to be taught from 8 or 9, between the age of say 9 to be on the safe side and 12 sex education, then I think the PG rating needs to change and be modified to incorporate the fact that, you know, kids aren't PG anymore. Never hold up in a court of law. No, probably wouldn't. because in the court the kids are kids. In schools, kids are young adults. Yeah. Peggy 3 is more fun than PG. Mm-hmm. Yep. And before I actually do go into Discord, after I've done with the stream, I'll have to reset my router, I think. Restart it just in case. Because... Or no, actually I'll leave it, and then if it starts playing up and I start getting lag, then I'll restart the router. Because one of the kids are playing a game at the moment. And I don't have to turn around to him and say, he's only just got his go on the computer and say, yeah, you'll have to disconnect from the internet for a minute or two. And the other one's watching YouTube on his tablet, waiting for his go again. Just what, 4 more passes? 3 more after this one, even, if all goes well. Right, well, as I get ready to wrap up here, I will, oh, actually it's going to be 4 passes, or 3 passes after this one, because of that strip down there. The strip was just slightly too wide. Wife home with shopping. Have to go. Evening, guys. Yep, see you later, Stu. Thanks for stopping in. Have fun, bud. So, whilst we're just finishing off, I would like to thank everybody for stopping by. And if you haven't already done so, please hit the like button. And definitely appreciate it. And if you wish to see more, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be notified as to when I go live, if YouTube decides that it wants to be friendly and do so, or be notified as to when I put a video up. And as always, there's links to every member of the Monkey Show that do their own content. Be sure to check those guys out. They're definitely more than worthy of such a thing, and they're all, I would say, friendly, but Stu with his pink thing, I wouldn't say so friendly. I mean, he can be a bit vicious at times, depends on how you catch him, but he still does good content though, so I won't knock him for that. Just don't get in his way in a corner. And until we come back and do whatever we're going to be doing when we do come back, I will see you all later. Take care and see ya. Get round the corner. No? Really? Stuck on the shed.